welcome to a new series I'm calling Point Buy. This series we're going to do a deep dive into media's most popular characters by using GURPS point system. Trying to make characters that you could use in your sessions, if GM permits. As a note, this is not a replacement to the GURPS protocol, only a sub-series between episodes. 3D model takes time, but these are easy to do. So, for our first episode, I couldn't think of a more fitting character than to do Jump Brothers themselves, Mario and Luigi. I figure I add Luigi as he shares similar build to Mario. I can't let old Lewis out to dry. So, let's go!
It's me, Mario!
Before we get started, let's lay out some ground rules. What is canon? Well, this script was made before the Mario movie trailer came out, so if anything was included in that, I wouldn't know. We will be sticking to the games as they're easier to cross-reference. And before anyone asks, we'll be treating item power-ups as items and not inherent abilities, except for one item, but we'll keep that as a surprise for later. Also, there's a lot of Mario games. Some when he's an artist or doctor, as well as unique powers in some RPG games. We will do some, but not all, as some conflicts with others, and honestly, that's a matter of preference. Okay, to start, Mario. Yeah, I guess we're still doing that. Title, Plumber. Organization, Mushroom Kingdom. Great simple start. Gender, male. Age, 26. Birthday, well, March 10th. That makes sense. Religion, what? Yeah, so Mario is polytheistic. They made it so he's just one religion, all religions. Okay, sure. Whatever. Height? Okay, before we go any farther, we need a serious discussion about height. Something that's going to be hard for Mario fans to accept, but it is true.
But it's becoming increasingly obvious. I can deny it no longer! I am small.
Yes, Mario's canon height is 2'6". The Mario everyone is used to knowing is Super Mario at 5'1". This is after he eats a super mushroom. So how the heck are we gonna count this on his sheet? Well, I came up with a solution. We will treat Super Mario as the default height, but take dwarfism as a disadvantage. I added a modifier to dwarfism called Mitigator. As long as Mario takes a daily super mushroom, he could take the super status as well as the +0 size chart. I felt like this was a good mix between 2D Mario and 3D Mario. Tech level 8. He weighs 300 pounds. Okay, so Mario's kind of a bit of a hefty boy. I added overweight disadvantage. To be fair, at 300 I could take it one step higher to fat, but I think that's mostly raw muscle with some pasta belly on top. Finally, brown hair, blue eyes, white skin, and Mario is right-handed. Now on to his attributes. For the most part, Mario's kind of an average dude. He's quite flexible and healthy, so dexterity and health are at 15. He's no more smarter than anyone else, so I'll give him just a 10 flat. And, what is that? Okay. Let me explain why his strength is 23. So, Mario's lifting strength is very inconsistent, based on different calculations and means of different things. If you compare his ability to break full brick blocks, in theory he could lift 8,000 pounds. Note, this would put his strength score around 30 to 50 range. But if you realize he could lift King Bob-omb, then you're looking at about 35,000 pounds of lift. That is ridiculous. If that's the case, Mario could lift Bowser one-handed like a pizza pie. No. Let's fix this. So, what I did is I took Bowser's weight at 1,600 pounds. I adjusted his strength until it was able to perform a running shove and knockover, as Mario can drag Bowser around and knock him down if he's going fast enough. I felt like this seemed more fair. This put Mario's strength at 23, much more balanced than other calculations. Still high, but much better. Some bits to note about his secondary attributes. He has a high will and fright check, as he is one to rush in no questions to save others. His base move is 11, and this was a lot of calculation based on his average running speed in 5 games converted to yards per second, then converted to the base move. Alright, that was a good chunk of things to go over, but let's go quickly into traits. We'll be skipping some of them, so feel free to pause the video to take a quick look at the smaller things. He has native Italian and accent in English. I gave him fearlessness and perfect balance and ridiculous luck. Super jump 3 and taken his base move into jumping, that's a little over 25 feet up in the air. They don't call him Jumpman for nothing. I gave him innate fireball attack that costs 1 fatigue and takes 5 seconds per shot. Under disadvantages, impulsiveness, pacifism can't harm the innocent, stubbornness, charitable, selfless, and a sense of duty for the Mushroom Kingdom. In skills, some that you expect like acrobatics, knowledge of the Mushroom Kingdom, I focused on brawling to be his primary fighting style, so I altered jump kick to use brawling, then karate. The jump kick acts as Mario's stomping ability. Axe and mace is added here for his hammer, as he's quite skilled at using it. Body language and gestures because he has been seen to be able to convey better with his hands than him speaking. I added connoisseur for his food love. I added hobby skill of karting just for fun. He could parry missile weapons with the bullet bills, is great at throwing things at enemies, and is a good leader. Mario doesn't carry much equipment. In terms of what he has equipped is a warhammer, boots, and gloves. So back at the beginning, I did say power-ups would be handled a little differently, so here's where I'm going to keep them, as other equipment like talismans or charms. Any of the power-ups Mario can get in any of the games can easily be added here. For example, Fire Flower will break if Mario gets hit, but will allow him to cast Fireball without fatigue. Metal Cap makes him invincible, heavy, and doesn't need to breathe, but only lasts for 1 minute. Wow, there's surprisingly a lot about Mario. This puts his point total to 468. That makes sense as he's a skilled adventurer by the time you play him in most games. And his strength and jump does cost a lot, so it is fair to say he's a pretty great mid-level character. But what about Luigi? Well, honestly he takes a lot after his brother. Let's run a few changes. I made him 1 year younger, and to be fair, they seem to be born at about the same time. I just changed this on personal preference. I kept Luigi as polytheistic because, well, yeah. He is substantially taller than Mario, but I still kept the dwarfism on as well. There's no official weight for Luigi, so I just shaved off 50 pounds and removed the overweight disadvantage. He is also ambidextrous, so I gave him that. Same strength as Mario, however I altered his dex. He's kind of a klutz, and I did, however, bump his IQ for reasons I'll go over later. He is known to be more frightful, so I lowered his will and fright check. In advantages, I gave him gadgeteering, and I could explain. Back in Mario Party, there was a board called Luigi's Engine Room, which featured a whole mess of machines and contraptions. As a kid, I thought Luigi was a gadgeteer personality, kind of like Tails from the Sonic series. But unfortunately, this wasn't really his gimmick. But even then, Luigi dealt with EGAD's inventions on the regular basis, so I said screw it. He's also a bit of a tinkerer. That's why I gave Luigi a higher IQ as well. Anyway, I gave him Slippery 1, and switched his default innate attack with Ball Lightning. It's technically the same attack, but with a different flavor. In disadvantage, he is Cowardice, Chummy, along with a few that Mario share. Most of Luigi's skills are the same, but I also gave him Whirlwind attack and Headbutt for his weird moves. Other than that, his equipment is the same as Mario's. And that wraps it up for the brothers. It was interesting to find out weird facts about them and to do a real deep dive. If there's anything you would switch about them, let me know in the comments. Nicely, please. Also, if there's any characters you want me to make for Point Buy, drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.